guys, it's Ashley, your scrapping nerd, and today I'm back with a layout for Scraplift Crafternoon, and it's our weekly Sunday hop where a bunch of us get together and we craplift an inspiration layout. And today's inspiration layout is Ruth from Crazy Chaotic Crafts, and I just loved her layout is adorable. And so today, since it's Super Bowl Sunday, I thought what a better reason than to scrap lift a football layout. And so I'm pulling in a bunch of ephemera and stash that I have in my stash. And so I pulled in some Simple Stories Say Cheese for the Happy Kids ephemera, some Echo Park A Magical Place sticker book, as well as some San Francisco 49ers little ephemera and bits and bobs that I have, and other kind of sports related things to football. And then I pulled in papers from my stash. I had the football field paper that I believe came from some paper pad, because I can see on the edges like it was perforated, and it's very, very thin. And then I pulled in some maroon and some gold, because of course we have 49er colors. And so I'm going to start with the football field paper, and I had two of them because I originally wanted the numbers to show, and so I was going to run those down each side of my layout, and I wanted the lines to line up, and so excuse me, and so I was making it so that they would cut evenly. They're not cut evenly, but line up evenly. And I also wanted that black matting for my layout, like around the edges. And this paper is really thin, and so it needed the mat in the back to help make the layout sturdy. And so I'm getting those kind of trimmed up, because I still was under the assumption I was going to show the numbers and the lines for like the field. But it's too bad that the football paper didn't have the lines on both sides, because then I could have just used the paper as it was. But I had this idea of having the two lines like a football field. And so I'm getting those kind of all situated, and since it's that thin paper, you can see the white core of it. So I am going to use some Distress Oxide in the Rustic Wilderness to ink around the edges, and that'll help differentiate it. And you can see here, I wanted to put this maroon paper in the center to make my little Happy Kids pop more. And if the numbers were to show, then the maroon paper would have been really kind of just a thin strip. And so that's why in the end I decided I would just show the green tick marks down the sides and not have the numbers. But yeah, I'm inking the edges to cover up that white core, but also to add some dimension to the sides of the layout. And so I'm getting those all kind of down. While I'm doing that, make sure you check out all the links below. There's links to Ruth's YouTube page. There's all the links to all the wonderful ladies that are part of Scraplift Crafternoon. I can't wait to see what they did with Ruth's inspiration layout. And so all that information below. There's a playlist also, so you could just click on the playlist and watch all of our videos, which is just a wonderful. Make sure you subscribe and like to everyone. And thank you to everyone that has subscribed and liked to my channel. I really appreciate it. It's so much fun interacting with all of you. And thank you for taking time to watch my videos. I really, really appreciate it. And so you can see I'm still working on getting everything level or evened out. This took me the longest, and I finally was happy with that. And so I'm taking this maroon paper, and again, I don't know where this came from, but it's also really thin, so it's got to be a while. I've had it for a while. And so I'm just trimming off the edge so that the black matting of my layout goes all the way around and the maroon doesn't go through it. And I will use Distress ink in Fired Brick to ink the edges of that for the same reason that you can see the white core, since it's such a thin paper. And so my video cutout, I took all of, you're going to see in a minute, all of the Say Cheese for Happy Kids. I took them all, and I colored their dresses red, and I added some gold. I took some of the San Francisco helmets that I had that had the logo on it, and I cut them out and put it on their dresses, on their shirts, on their hats, so that they're all San Francisco 49er fans. And on like the one's balloon, I put a football in it, and she has a little heart on her dress. And then I took some Wink Stella and added it to the hair ties in the gold. And also on my foam finger, I used the Wink Stella in the pearl or white. And so inspiration from Ruth, because she created the scene at the bottom of her layout, I wanted to put all of my little 49er fans at the bottom of my layout. And so I'm getting them kind of all situated after I dressed them in their San Francisco best. And it's funny, the carts I colored in gold and maroon, and even though they're go-karts for like Disneyland, because these are Happy Kids, I thought they looked like they could be chairs or part of the stadiums or something like that. And so having the San Francisco stickers on them and then coloring them in the colors, I think really made that point across. And so the Happy Kids in the front row are all up on foam, so it adds dimension. And then the girl in the middle, her balloon is up on foam, so her balloon has some dimension. But then I had this kind of red and gold checker, or not gold, kind of cream checkered paper. And so I thought that would be fun just to add some pattern paper to my layout. And so I will be using that to kind of be a spot for my layout or for my photo to sit on. And so here's where I'm adding all the foam. But so this photo came up in my memories, and it's kind of funny because I have been a 49er fan my entire life. I was pretty much born into it. My grandma, there was no other choice. You were a 49er fan. And so the picture on the left is me in a 49ers shirt when I was really young. And then on the right was a picture of me when we were in the Super Bowl in 2020. And so I have my Super Bowl hat on and my 49ers scarf. And I had put these two together and shared it on my social media saying, like, I am faithful. I've been a fan even when we weren't good. And it popped up in my memories. And since we are going to the Super Bowl again, I thought, well, today's the day to scrapbook this photo. And the Happy Kid was with the little ginger with the heart sunglasses. I was like, well, that's me, right? So, and I had this foam finger number 1, and I just glued that to her balloon so it looks like she's holding up the number 1. And so I was like, well, she belongs next to the photo, and I will pop her up as well. And so you can see I'm going to take this checkered pattern paper and cut it down so that it just creates a little spot for the photo, and it kind of differentiates it from my little scene at the bottom with all my 49er fans. And so I had that laid out, and then I thought my little girl kind of blended into the pattern because it's such a busy pattern. So I just took a piece of the green paper left over from where I cut the edges off, and I'm going to create just a little shelf for her to stand on next to the photo so that she still stands out in all her little glory there. I just love it with her little heart glasses. But so that was kind of how I was setting it up. And then I wanted to add some gold. It's just a little bit of shimmer. So I will back that in this gold paper that I have. And that just added some a nice touch to the little photo cluster area, and then added some gold for the 49ers. And so I like how that turned out. And the little helmets and the little football ephemera things, we had a Super Bowl party in 2020, and it was our table scatter. We had cut out these little circles, and you'll see I have a tag that says, "Are you ready for some football?" and "Go 49ers" and the San Francisco logo. We had printed a bunch of these out and cut them out and just put it on the table as table scatter. And so of course I saved some of those, and that's what I used to cut out the logo for their clothing on the Happy Kids, because I needed the SF to be really tiny. And then like the foam finger, I don't know which collection that came from. I just found it in my stash. But yeah, here's the tag that says, "Are you ready for some football?" And then I had this little "Go 49ers." Down there at the bottom, I didn't like the opening. There was too much space between my one little kid jumping up and then my kid in his little seat. And so I put the little Go 49ers down there just to kind of fill in that little spot. It was awkward to my eyeball. But then Ruth had a banner across the top of her layout. And so I thought, oh, well, I'll get inspired from Ruth there. And I added this little banner. I pulled in some red, like, what is that, Rick Rack? Is that what you call that? And I put it through the tag, and then I put these little footballs that I had that are glittery, and I have one on that girl's balloon, but I have that so that they're kind of hanging from this banner. And I put everything on black paper and matted it so that it just stood out a little bit more. And here's one of those little helmets that I'm cutting out from the table scatter. And this is the helmets that I cut the SF out of that would fit on the little Happy Kids shirts and hats and stuff. I had a bunch of those. But that is the layout, guys. I just love how it turned out. Thank you, Ruth, for all the inspiration. My little Happy Kids at the bottom are so cute. And everyone have a great day. Go 49ers. Bye.